All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea called day trading culture. Now, this is a whole new way to think about marketing. It's less about those long, planned-out campaigns and way more about catching the lightning-fast pulse of what people actually want, right here, right now.
Okay, so let's start with a feeling that I bet we've all had. You see a big brand, right? And they finally jump on a trend and you just can't help but think, you guys are like 2 weeks too late. It's that constant feeling, isn't it? That marketing is always just playing catch up with culture.
And yeah, that's what we can call marketing's 2-second delay. Just think about it. By the time you get a budget approved, shoot a whole commercial, and finally launch the campaign, that cultural moment, it's gone, it's already peaked, and everyone's moved on. The speed of culture today is it's relentless.
So the big question is, how do you fix that? Well, you've got to adopt this really powerful new mindset. You have to start thinking like a trader. But hold on, I'm not talking about a stock trader. I'm talking about a culture trader. It's all about being nimble, being super observant, and being ready to act in a flash.
And that brings us right to the core term for today, day trading culture. Now notice, this isn't just about chasing the latest trend. No, the key here is to become a student of markets, which is really just a fancy way of saying a student of human attention. It's about really watching what we're all consuming, the shows, the memes, the books, to find that deeper underlying pulse.
And this is where it gets really interesting. See, anyone can spot a viral meme. That's the easy part. But a real culture trader, they ask why. Why did this one thing go viral? What's the deeper human desire it's plugging into? Is it our need for connection? A good laugh? Maybe nostalgia? That's the real signal you're looking for.
This whole mindset, it leads us to a fundamental rule of world-class marketing. It's a really simple but totally profound idea. What you say is so much more important than how you say it.
Let's break this down because it's so important. On the one hand, you've got the old way, the how. That's all about big budgets, super high-polished videos, finding the perfect ad channels. But the new way, the what, is totally obsessed with something different, relevance. It's about tapping into the conversation that's already happening out there and, crucially, identifying that core human want.
I mean, this quote just absolutely nails it. At the end of the day, a relevant message, even with super simple execution, is always going to beat some polished, expensive message that just completely misses the point.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? Sounds great, but how do you actually do this? How do you start reading that cultural pulse for yourself? Well, let's get into the playbook. So where do you even start looking? It's actually all around you. Think about it. What's number one on Netflix right now? That's a direct window into our collective daydreams. What books are on the bestseller lists? That tells you exactly what ideas people are hungry for. And of course, you got viral memes, trending sounds, all that social media chatter. That is the literal, real-time heartbeat of culture. Okay, so turning all this observation into actual action is a pretty simple 3-step process. Step 1, spot the trend. Let's take, for example, the huge explosion of cozy games like Animal Crossing. Step 2, and listen, this is the most important part, identify the want behind it. The desire wasn't really just for a game, was it? It was for calm, for creativity, for a little sense of control in a really chaotic world. And then step 3, create something that resonates. Connect your message to that deeper desire for peace, not just to the surface-level trend of gaming.
And this is where it gets really exciting. Because once you start using this new lens, I promise you, you start seeing the entire world differently. Every single trending topic, every meme becomes a potential insight.
And really, that's the ultimate goal here. The point isn't just to make a better ad or funnier social media post. The real goal is to transform yourself into a student of the market of human attention. It's about developing this incredible intuition for that collective pulse, for what we all want, what we need, and what we desire at any given moment. So, I want to leave you with this one final thought to take with you. As you go about your day, as you're scrolling, looking at the shows, the news, the memes, don't just be a consumer. Be an analyst. Ask yourself, what's the real desire here? What's the cultural current I'm seeing? And most importantly, what's your next trade?